Hi children, welcome to Eclit Learning. So this is the second part of grade 11 chapter 1 programming. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, I have done separate videos from grade 6 onwards, and for grade 11 I have done one part for chapter 1 programming where I have discussed about how to analyze a problem. So in this is the second part, and in this video, basically, I will be talking about control structures and about flow charts, right? So control structures. Now, when we learn about algorithms, there are actually three control types, right? Control structures. So I hope you have learned about or heard about different kind of programming languages like Java, C Sharp, C++, C, Pascal, Python. There are so many programming languages, but actually the same concept is used in all these programming languages with different syntax, right? So if you learn the basic concept behind control structures, then you can program in any language because only the syntax will be different, but the concepts are the same, right? Okay, so we'll learn the first thing. It's about sequence, right? So in the sequence, what happen is like we learn in an algorithm, we have steps to follow from the beginning to end. You have to follow steps, right? So in the sequence control structure, what happens is the steps from the beginning to end, this will be carried in a strict order, right? You cannot jumble or you cannot mix the steps. That means number one, number two, number three, like that steps should be followed one after the other with a strict order. So that's the main idea of sequence, right? For example, they have given when you climb steps up or down, right? You have to do it step by step. Yes, you can do two steps at a one time, but at that also you have to do in order, right? For example, if you climb one step up and going down, coming down again, climbing up or climbing down, you cannot mix it up and do, then you cannot progress on that, right? So when you walk on a staircase, you have to climb up step by step. Or if you're climbing down, you have to do that like climb down step by step. You have to follow the order, right? So that's the one example they have given. Another example they have given is like, for example, when you admitted to grade 1, right? Then you move to grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, like that. Now you are in grade 11, right? So like that, you will go up to grade 13 and then you will go out of the school. So that is also you have to do in a strict order. You cannot go to grade 5 and then come to grade 1 and grade 3, like that. You cannot change the order. Right? So there's a particular strict order you have to follow these steps. So that is the first control structure. It's very easy. It's very clear, right? And they have asked you to write down two incidents which consist of sequence. So you can think of so many things, right? For example, now from the when you start your day, right? You wake up, you wash your mouth, then you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you have your clothes, then you go to school, and then you go to the tuition class, then you come back home, have your dinner, and then you sleep. So that is something you do in a strict order. You have to have the dinner at the night, right? Not in the morning. In the morning, you will take the breakfast, something like that. So these steps will go one after the other. Another example I can think of is like making a tea. You already know the steps, right? So you have to boil the water, you have to take the tea leaves, then you have to put the boiled water to the tea leaves, and then you have to mix milk and sugar for that tea, right? So then you have to serve. So these steps you cannot mix. Boiling water cannot be done at the end of the process. You have to do it in the beginning. So like that, in the life, there are so many incidents which consist of sequence, right? So you can think of any, even the mix, preparing the fruit salad, preparing a vegetable salad, preparing a fruit drink. So all these things will include steps which you should follow in a strict order. Okay, so that's the first thing, sequence. Second thing is selection. Selection is a situation where steps are executed depending on a condition. Right? You have to think about a condition, and based on that, whether it's satisfied or not. Actually, there are two choices. So if the condition is satisfied, then you select one option. And if the condition is not satisfied, then you have to select the other option. So there are two options. Based on the condition, you have to select. Right? That is about selection. We'll go for the examples. Now they have given you three examples actually. First thing is admitting a child to grade 1. So now every year, a parent should consider whether your child is below 5 years. Now, normally in government schools, the age will be calculated for the 31st of January, right? So this will differ. If you are going for an international school, then it will be considering your age based on the September calendar, because their intake will be September. So this is totally for the government school. So in the government schools, the age will be considered based on 31st January. So if a child is below 5, right, at that date, then the child cannot be admitted to the school. Right? If a child is more than 5 years for the 31st of Jan of that particular year, yes, then that child can be admitted to grade 1. So see, there's a condition. Age is below 5 years. Same thing, you can do the reverse way. If the age is more than 5 years or equal or more than 5 years, then same thing, there's a condition. Based on that condition, you have to pick up the choice. Next thing. Now, in your O levels also, they will decide the passing the subject based on the marks. If your marks is 35 or more, for example, if it is 40, that means it's a pass. But if your marks are less than 35, that means something like 10, then it is a fail. So see, based on your marks, there's a condition, two choices. So that is how selection works. Buying a book, right? So if you have enough money to buy the book, that means now, for example, the price of the book is, if it is 100 rupees, and if you have 100 or more than 100, maybe 150, then yes, you can buy the book. But if you have money less than the price, for example, you have only 80 rupees, so can you buy the book? No, you cannot buy the book. So selection means based on a condition, you decide what is the option you can go for. So here they have asked you another 3 incidents you can think of, right? So like this, you can think of different examples. For example, when you're traveling on the road, there may be traffic lights. If it is red color, you have to stop your vehicle. If it is green, you can move, you can go, right? So based on that condition, you can decide what you have to do, right? Another simple example is, now you are going somewhere. When you go out of the door, it's raining. So if it is raining, you have to carry an umbrella. You have to open up your umbrella. If it's not raining, you don't need to carry an umbrella, or you don't have to open it up. That's another simple example based on condition you think. Another thing, you may be simple thing. If you're hungry, you have to eat. Else, you can stay without eating. Okay, so if you are hungry, you need to buy a snack. If not, you can stay without eating. So very simple selection. It's happening every day. But every day you do select choices based on the conditions, right? So they have given another example. In Sri Lanka, citizens gets the right to vote after completing the age of 18. So you should become 18, then only you can vote, right? So if the age is, now you can go for any direct. Now, if you pick more than 18, if you're more than 18, the vote can be casted. If not, the vote cannot be casted. That is because I choose here as more. Same thing you can do the other way. If the age is less than 18, the vote cannot be casted. If not, the vote can be casted. So if not means the reverse of this condition. Based on what you select. Now I have select less in the second scenario. So if the age is less than 18, you cannot cast. So if not means, that means your age is more than 18. That means the vote can be casted. Hope you understood. So the condition, you can think of your condition and do accordingly, right? Now I will show some examples how I have done the flow charts and all. Don't copy the same thing, right? Try to do it yourself, because your condition will be different. It may be reverse of my condition. So based on your condition, you think about the options. Okay. Third control structure is repetition. Right? Repetition. Do it again and again. Repetition means that, right? So if one or several steps of the algorithm are repeated, remember when you are repeating also, you consider a condition, because you cannot infinitely do. Sometimes I have seen some students are writing programs in an infinite way. That means that repetition never stops. So what will happen in the programming world if you do something like that? The program will run infinitely, like it will never stop. So your resources will be consumed, and at one time the application will crash. Without memory and without other resources, it will definitely crash. So when you write a program, you have to make sure it stops at a condition. You cannot run this program like without stopping. Okay. So based on a condition, these steps will repeated, right, until the condition is satisfied. They have given nice two examples. One thing is like how this class teacher is marking the attendance register, right? How this is normally happening, right, in your school. So teacher will call the first name. If that student is present, if she or he, the teacher will mark it 1. If that student is absent, teacher will mark it 0. And they will the teacher will call the next name. Next name will do the same thing. Next, read the next name. If present 1, if absent 0. Read the next name. If present 1 or 0. Like that, she or the teacher will repeat this process until she or he get the last name of the register. So until the last name, this process should be repeated. Do you understand the condition we have to stop? When the teacher reaches to the last name, then only this process stops. Okay. Next example. This is about the process of reading a paragraph, and you calculate the number of words you have read, right? So you read the first word, you make the number of word 1. You read the second, make it 2. Read the next one, make it 3. Read the next one, make it 4. So you have to increase this number of words by 1 when you read each of these words. And you have to repeatedly do it until you come to the end of the paragraph. So the condition here is when you reach the end of the paragraph, you have to stop it, and then only you take the total number of words you have read. Understood? Until that, you have to increment the number of words you have read by 1. Okay. So here also they're asking you to tell some repetition, right? Some scenarios where you can see these repetitions, right? So even now day-to-day work, when it is a morning, you have to start doing the same thing again and again, right? What I told for the sequence. So in the sequence, for a one day, you do something. So if it is the next day, again, you start from the beginning. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you have your wash, then you have your breakfast, you have to go to school, you have to go to tuition, you have to come back home, you have to sleep. So this thing will continuously, repetitively will be happen if it's a new day. If it's a new day, you do the same thing. If it's a new day, you do the same thing. So it's a repetition, right? So you can think of so many examples like that where the repetition will happen. You do the same thing again and again, right? Next thing, fill in the blanks related to the repetition where you that output 5 times from 5 to 60, right? You have to get 5 times. That means 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 like that up to 60. So n is 5. Then you output the value of n. So it's 5. Then you add a 5. So you can add 5 or you can do a multiple also, but here they have done add a 5. So 5, you add a 5, right? Then what's the value of the, then you have to give the output, then it will be 10. Then you have to repeat the step number, what? 2 and 3. 2 and 3 you have to continuously do until your value is 60. Because for example, you have n equals 5, you output the value 5, you write 5, you print it 5. Then you add again 5. Then you do the step 2 again. Output is 10. You add a 5 again. Again output the value. Now it is 15. You add a 5 again and output it. So it's 20. Like that, you have to repeat until your value becomes 60 because they need the multiples from 5 to 60. Hope you understood. Okay. So here we are talking about how to represent an algorithm, right? You can represent an algorithm using two methods. One thing is flowcharts, other thing is pseudocodes, right? So first thing you're going to learn about flowcharts. And remember, flowcharts actually, we use so many symbols, right? So it's a graphical representation of the algorithm, right? So we'll learn the pseudocode also. It's like kind of English, like you write the steps. But here it's about presenting your algorithm step by step in a dramatic manner. Actually, with the graphical interpretation is happening here, right? So here we have used different symbols. If you have done IT from grade 6 onwards, definitely these are very easy things for you. But I'm doing from this beginning because there may be students who join IT for their O levels only, right? So here the symbols, you have to remember these symbols. Yes. So this one, it is used for start and end. You know, in an algorithm, we have main two steps, start and end. So for that, we use this symbol. This one, it's a parallelogram. So it is some people, one second, some people use oval also for this. It's okay. Or the curved kind of a rectangle, right? And this one's a parallelogram. So it's having input and output. For that we used when we input some values, when we get the values from the user, as well as when you give the output as a for the user, right? And this rectangle is for the process. This is the kind of a diamond we use for the decision making. So you can see there are two branches. One for yes scenario, that means the condition is satisfied. Next one is no, right? I will give you an example and explain, then you will get what it is. And these arrows we use for the flow direction where the data flows. And this one is for the circle is for the connector. Now we'll see small example for under sequence. In here, you have to find the area of a circle. I hope you know how to find the area of a circle. You know the equation. So for that, actually what we need to calculate area of a circle, we need the radius of the circle, right? So here they have not mentioned any mathematical equations and all, but you hope you know how to find the area of a circle, the equation, the mathematical equation. So for that, we need the radius. So you start and end. It's a must for an algorithm, for a must for an to have. So here in the flow chart, you have start and end. Then you have to take the input, the radius of the circle. It may be 7, it may be 14, it may be 21, it may be 14, 40. We don't know, right? So you have to get the radius of the circle. And this one is the rectangle here for the process. So what you do, you calculate the area of the circle. Sometimes you can include your mathematical equation for finding area of a circle as well here, right? Then input output, I told you both are having parallelograms. So you output the area of the circle after that, after you calculate it. So that's the end of it. So can you see in sequence, these steps are followed one after the other. Then the next one, it's selection. I told you selection happens based on a condition. Now here they are going to find whether a number is odd or even, right? So you start, you get the number, right? This is an input, right? See the symbol, it's a parallelogram. And then you have to find it odd or even. How to find whether number is odd or even? You have to divide the number by 2 and get the remainder, right? Hope you know how to find a number is odd or even. For example, if the number is 5, you have to divide 5 by 2. Then your remainder is 1. 1 means odd. So 5 is odd number. For example, if you take 4, your remainder is actually a 0 there, right? So that means 4 is an what? Is a even number, right? So same thing. So here, this is the process. Find the remainder, right? So this is a process by dividing 2. And then you have a selection. You have a condition. If the remainder is 0, that means nothing is left. That means it's an even number. If it is yes, I told you there are 2 branches for yes and no. So if it is, if the remainder is 0, that means if that condition is yes, that means it's an even number. If the remainder is 0, and if it is not, no scenario, that means remainder has 1, right? That means it's an odd number. Hope you understood. So start and end will be there. Okay. So next thing is repetition, right? Repetition means a step or several steps can be repeated, but based on a condition. You have to remember that, right? So if the condition is satisfied only, it will be repeated, right? Finding the total of some numbers. Now we have some numbers, maybe 10 numbers or 5 numbers. You have to add them together and get the total, right? So we'll see how it happens. You start, your total is 0, right? Then you get the number, first number. This is first number. Then you, for example, they will think that number is 2. So you add 2 for the total. Initially total is 0. So 0 plus 2, you get the total as 2. Then you have to check a condition. Are there any more numbers? Yes, we have 5 numbers to add. Yes. If it is yes, it will go here. Right? Get the number. So second number we'll think it's 3. So you get 3. Now your total is not 0, it's 2. Earlier one we had 2. So 2 plus 3, now total is 5. You check the condition again. Are there any more numbers? Yes. We are going up to 5 numbers. Yes, you go back here. Get the next, that means third number. We'll think it's 1. Now what is your total? Your total was 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Now your total is 6. Are there any more numbers? Yes. Fourth number we are going to think about. We'll think it's 10. Get the number. It's a 10. So now your total was 6. 6 plus 10 is 16. Your total is 16. Are there any more numbers? Yes, one more there, right? 5 numbers. Yes. You go here. Get the next number. We'll think it's 4. 4. Now your total was 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. Now your total is 20. Are there any more numbers? No. All 5 are done. No. No means this branch. Output the total. Your total is 20. Then you end the process. So can you see these 2 steps were done repetitively based on the condition? You check whether are there any more numbers? Are there any more numbers? You do the same. You do the same. Okay, so that is the repetition. Okay. We'll start with the activity. So there are a few activities they have given. You have to draw flowcharts to solve the given below problems, right? So first one is to find the perimeter and the area of a rectangle. We'll see how you have to draw the flowchart. Please note that your flowchart should not, like, it's not a must to be the same as my one, right? It can be different. So you first think and you do it yourself and check the answer. Yes, my one is the correct one, but it's not must to be the same thing, right? You can think in a bit different way and do the same thing in a correct manner, right? So don't worry thinking that my one is different. Find the perimeter and the area of a rectangle, right? So you know to find the area and the perimeter, you need to have the width and the length of the rectangle. Right? So this is maths actually. So you need width and the length, right? So you have to get that. That is your input. See, you have start and end symbols, right? And then you have the input. So this is the process, right? You calculate the area and the perimeter of the rectangle. So I have written the mathematical equations also. It's not a must to write. So area you have to calculate like width into length, right? And perimeter you can do in different ways. You can do width plus length, or you can do width plus length and then you can multiply by 2. So any method you can get the area and perimeter of the rectangle. So this is your output. Output the area and the perimeter of the rectangle. So this is the flow chart and you have to end it. So you have input, output, process, start and end. No conditions here. We'll go for the second scenario. It is decided to add 5,000 to the basic salary of the employees of a company. Calculate the new salary. So you have the salary, and for that salary, 5,000 will be just added. No condition, just adding 5,000 for your salary. So you have to get the start, end is there. Then you have to get the input. What's your input? The basic salary. We don't know whether it's 20,000, 50,000, 70,000. We don't know the basic salary. We have to get the basic salary. And for that basic salary, we are adding 5,000. So this is the process. And then you get the new salary. And no condition, no repetition. You just get the basic salary like 50,000. You add 5,000. You output the new salary, that is 55,000. Or if it is basic salary is 20,000, 20,000 plus 5, 25,000, that's your output, and you end the process. Okay, very easy. Third one, it's a bit tricky. When posting a letter, postal fare is charged according to its weight. So if the weight is the standard weight or it's less than that, right, the standard fare should be paid for the letters which are equal or to less than the standard weight. For example, this is a letter, right? So we'll think like standard size may be 100 grams. So if it is 100 grams or less, maybe 80 grams, then you have to pay only for the standard fare, maybe 40 rupees for a registered post like that. But if it is more than the standard weight, if it is like 200 grams or 250 grams like that, if it's more than the standard weight, then you have to pay more than the standard fare. That is what the question is. So here, similar to the earlier one, you have the start and end, right? Then you have to take the input. Input is the weight of the letter. You have to take it from the user. Then here, this is the condition. I told you this diamond shape with 2 branches, yes and no, right? If the weight is more than the standard weight, right? If this is the more scenario, more means yes. If it is more than that, you will output an additional fare should be charged. No scenario means that means the weight is not more than standard weight. That means the weight is either less or equal. Both scenarios should be included in that. So if it is no, then the output will be the standard fare should be the charge, not the additional charge. This condition you can change. This is the one way. Second method is you can write if the weight is less than or equal to standard weight. In that, if it is yes, that means your weight is less than the standard weight. If it is yes, then these two outputs should be changed. Your output should be the standard fare should be charged. Here for the no scenario, output will be that an additional fare should be charged. So this condition can be changed in your answer. Fourth question, indicate the first 12 multiples of 7. So 7, you have to get the multiples. 7, 14, 21, 28, like that. You have to get the multiples of 7. Only first 12. Okay. So we'll see how to do the flowchart. Okay, so you start and end, right? You have to read the number. Now here they have given the number as 7. You have to get that number, right? Read the number. And you have a counter because you have to get 1 to 12. Right? 7 into 1, 7 into 2, 7 into 3, like that up to 7 into 12. So that's why I'm using this count, right? So count is 1, right? If the count is more than 12, now my count is 1 first time. So it's the no scenario. So then I have to get my result. That means count is 1, 1 into number. That means 1 into 7. That is result is 7. You print your result, 7. You print the result. Then you increase your count. Count will become 2 now, right? Okay, I have missed more. So here, when the count is 2, you have to go for this condition. Sorry, I have missed this one. So here, when the count is 2, you go here and check the condition, right? If the count is more than 12, no, it's just 2. So 2, no, that means that condition is not satisfied. So you come here, 2 into number is 7, 2 into 7 is 14, your result is 14, you print it and again you increase the count. Now your count is 3. 3 is greater than 12, no. 3 into 7, your result is 21. You print the result. Again, you increase the count. Now your count is 4. 4 into 7, that means 28. You print the result. You increase it. Like that, you do until 12. 12 also you print. 12 into 7 also you print. Then your count is 13. 12 plus 1, 13. Then you check it. 13 is greater than 12. Yes, it's greater than 12. So then this branch should be executed. That means you have to end the process. Hope you understood. Okay. So fifth one, they're asking you to draw flow charts for the examples given in 1, 2, 1. That means 1, 2, 1 means from the beginning here, they have given you some examples. This one you can skip. Some things like this. So I have done the flow charts for these for 1, 2, 3, and for these 2. So there are 5 examples. I have done the flow charts. We'll discuss that as well. Admitting a child to the grade 1. I explained this scenario. We'll see the flow chart. You have the start and end, right? Then you read the age of the child, right? Read the age now. For example, if it is 5 years and 3 months, if age is less than 5, no, our kid is 5 years and 3 months. That means no scenario. You print the child can be admitted to the school. We'll we read the age as 4. Then if age is less than 5, yes, it's 4. Yes, what will happen? It will print the child cannot be admitted to the school. So this condition, you can do the reverse way also. For example, if age is greater than or equal to 5 as at 31st of Jan, then these branches should be interchanged. Okay, don't get confused. You have to check the condition and based on that only the branches are decided. Don't just copy the answer, right, without understanding. If the age is less than 5, yes, if age is less than 5, then you print child cannot be admitted to the school because still not enough age. But if the age is less than 5, no. If the age is more than 5 or equal to 5, then it should be this. Okay, please understand. Next example, passing a subject. Hope you remember, you get the marks, you read the marks of a subject. So this is the input or input the marks of a subject. Then you check the condition. If marks are greater than or equal to 35. Yes. Okay, the marks are like 40, 50, 60, 70. It's more than 35. You print, it's a pass. No, if the marks are like 20, this condition is not satisfied. No, it is should be printed as it is fail, right? Both will end after printing. Third one, buying a book, right? So you read the price of the book, right? Then you have a condition. If you have enough money, if the money you have is more than or equal to the price of the book, yes, yeah, you can buy the book. No, you have less money than the price. No, you cannot buy. You have to print, you cannot buy the book. Then it ends. So very easy, right? Flow chart. It's nothing hard, only the symbols you have to remember. This is a bit tricky. Class teacher is marking the attendance of the register, right? So you start, right? Then you read, actually next name is you read the name of the student, what is available, maybe first one. The same thing you can do a bit different. You can do read the first name and then you can do like that also, but I have done in this way. So that's why I told you the flowcharts can have different ways of doing it. Don't think your one is wrong. Can logically think and see. So you read the actually maybe the first time it's the first name or it's the next name, right? You read the name, what is available name for you, right? You read it, and if the student is present, yes, then mark 1. If it is not present, then this branch mark no or mark 0. After this marking, you have to check a condition. Is this the last name? No, this is the first name. No. So we'll go for the no branch. Again, you read the next name. If the student is present, you mark as 1 or 0 if it is absent. Then you check again. Like this, you do until maybe 40 names. And then, yes, this is the last name. Then you have to end it. Yes, branch, end it. Okay, hope you understood. This is the last example. Sorry if the font is not very visible because I wanted to put this whole picture into the whole thing. So read a paragraph and calculate the number of words you read. You start reading, right? So this is the way I told you. This can be done in 2 different ways. In the early example also, this also can be done in 2 different ways. There may be many ways, right? Don't worry. So read the first word. You get the number of word as 1. Then you read the next word. Then you increment it, right? So you add the number of words to be incremented by 1. Then is it the end? No, if not, you read the next one. Add a number count. Check whether it's the last one. Again, read the next word. Increment the number of words. Like this you do. And if you reach the end of the paragraph, yes, then you print the number of words. You print it and then you end the process. Okay, so that is about all examples in this section. So this is the end of part 2 of grade 11 chapter 1. So we'll do so many parts here because this chapter is huge and most of the kids are feeling it a bit hard because this is having a lot of programming involved. So if you have learned something, if you enjoyed my videos, please do subscribe, please do comment, and please share among your friends as well, right? So thank you again.